It's the 15th of October. Today is the morning to be brave. I'm working on this image for chiaroscuro, and I've done a lot of work on it. It's been a really difficult fortnight with my mum, and this week she has gone into residential care, which I'm finding very traumatic to deal with. Last night I couldn't work on this image, but this morning I woke up and thought, no, I just need to get on with it, and today I'm going to work into it. So even if it ends up not being specifically those two figures, but I still think the image works really well. So now's the time to move it on and to play with it. This is 1 hour on, and with the radio on and just getting lost in drawing, I've managed to carry on working on it. That's fine. I'm not totally happy with the shape of the piece. I might just try and alter the frame shape, but it does give space for the picture, and it does look more like a jigsaw piece now. This is my sketchbook page for the practice piece for assignment 3. It's the first drawing that I did from a series of 11 photos, trying to put together a composition that was pleasing with figures and fabrics, and looking at the light and the way it was handled, together with my sketchbook notes. This page is from a Peter Blake drawing that I found, where I was really impressed with the way that the hatching worked and made the tones. So I was using that page to investigate the effects of that, and cross-hatching with different colours, thinking that I could use that with my cutting and the overprinting. Also trying to rework the drawings and improve the composition, but I found it really hard to get the freshness of the original drawing, even more so when I was the harder I tried to work on it, the tighter the drawing seemed to get. But I also, this was the sketchbook page where my tutor at my evening class at Gainsborough's house had done a 4-colour woodblock of a cockerel, and I spent some time looking at it and all the layers and analysing his picture to try and work out how he'd done each layer. I made tracings of my drawing and photocopied it onto paper, and I spent a lot of time trying to work out my key plate, and it was during this time that I had the idea of trying to make it look like a jigsaw piece itself. But it was, and again with that, it was trying to get it to look like a jigsaw piece and get the proportions right of the loops and the bumps of a jigsaw piece, because they're actually quite large in proportion, and I didn't want to detract from the picture. So here I was using the Peter Blake hatching in blues and oranges to try and create the third tone, and I was beginning to sort of understand how my colours might work together, but I spent a lot of time on this, and I really was getting more and more confused by it and trying to work out all the colours, and in the end the only way to get around that was to just launch in and do it and learn by practical hands-on mistakes or successes. So I used hardboard for my cutting, and again what I'd learned from evening classes was to make the key plate first. So that's what I did, and then I used that by printing that onto the hardboard. Onto other pieces I was then able to make my template, and yeah, it was also about doing that onto a transparency and then back again in order to get the reversals right on that. So these were the plates that I cut. So I have my 4 hardboard plates, and over here, sorry about this, twiddling round, down on the floor here I've got some of my prints that I took from those plates, and began to sort of work it out, and where to recut. Oh, there's also the key plate there, which I was also beginning to work out where printed well and where I needed to rub down harder. I also, again from the evening class, made a registration block out of mount board and little bits of small mounting tape. I'm not sure if I've got that to hand. No, I'll have to show you that another time. Oh, here it is, yeah. Yes, it's here. So I made it out of mount board, and then sticking pieces of small pieces of mount board and masking tape on, managed to make that. And for this particular job, I actually had to stick an extra little piece on, because where the loop of the jigsaw came down, I was missing a bit, and when I printed it, that came out pale, so I had to just add a little piece onto my registration block to build that up to the same level so that it would print evenly. I'm not showing you the frame particularly on here, because I did that for I've adapted it since for another print that I did. So that's the registration block. I think this was the first one that I did, just again on newsprint, and was able to look at areas that I needed to cut away a bit more, or that shadow I felt was distracting over here, so I cut that away. Well, there is the place where I needed to add a bit into the registration plate. But that was the first one that I did, and then the finished prints for that. Sorry about this. So I have that one, and this one, which I'll be sending to you. They're slightly chalky because I covered them in chalk to bring them home, because they were damp, and then because I was using water-based inks, I can't brush them off properly, because they smudge and the colours run. So that's something else that I've learnt by my mistakes as well. So there's that one, and there was this one, which this one I've cut out, so it's freestanding. I'll mount that onto a piece of paper, and that will get rid of this problem here, where I got overruns with the cutting, and that's because my key plate was cut in the shape of a jigsaw, but the other plates were all squares, so I haven't got an entirely clean edge there. So there's a lot went wrong with this one, but I also learned quite a lot from it, and I think I've got some interesting colour mixes. I've been trying to work on your advice to practice mixing my inks on the print rather than mixing them all up beforehand, and to work with the colours I'm getting. As far as the design goes, I mean it's particularly with my husband, it still looks like him, not so much my mum, but I think the strength of the design has worked all right. It's got impact and it's got direction, and I think from the chiaroscuro point of view, I've managed to get the light working pretty well, so down his profile and coming through the window and across the table, so the lights and shades work well, and this dark area here where things sort of disappear. So from that point of view, I'm happy with it as an image that fulfills the brief. I like the cat's fur. I think that's got some quite interesting print effects in with the colour. But definitely needs some tidying up on the printing.